Hello, my friends. It is the 15th day of August 2019. It is Thursday, early evening. And today I want to do just something a little bit different. Today I want to tell you something that happened in my life recently. And I want to discuss something about a recent video. It's probably not recent, but I saw it recently. It may be a little bit older, a few years or so. But first off, I want to talk about um, prayer and having prayer answered. I know the ones that believe in Jesus Christ and have accepted Christ know all about this. They know that they ask the Lord for something, they pray, they seek the Lord for it, they have prayer for it, they get others to pray with them, that God would answer prayer, whatever it is they may need in life. And this has happened to me here recently. I've been praying for something for about a month, give or take. And I've been praying every day, in the morning, in the afternoon, and at night. Now, when I say in the afternoon, while I'm working, or I'm out, I cut grass. I have a little thing I do on the side. Um, while I'm doing that, I'm talking to the Lord. I'm concentrating on uh, talking with the Lord and asking Him for what I need and just whatever. But here, the last month or so, I've been specifically asking Him for something that I need in my life. And I'm not going to say what it is because it's a personal matter, but it's just a point that I want to tell you that prayer works. So, anyways, I've been asking this for about a month. I've been rather sick the last few weeks. As you know, I've told before I have an illness that if I get really, really bad, I have to go get chemotherapy for. I'm not going to go into grave details about my illness. I have in earlier videos, but I started getting sick the middle part of July, give or take, and it got pretty bad. I started getting some of the well-known symptoms that I get when I know that I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to slip out of remission. Not fully slipping out of remission or falling out of remission, but I was just getting to that point where I started to think that this might be occurring. So I started praying heavily, and this isn't what I asked the God. I mean, God, I asked, obviously to deliver me with this, but there was something else going on that I was praying for as well. And the Lord answered the prayers. The Lord answered the prayers. I feel wonderful now. I'm still a little bit icky, but the majority of my symptoms have dissipated. They've gone away. Um, I've asked the Lord to deliver me. The illness that I have does not have a cure. There's nothing science can do other than give me steroids and give me chemotherapy when I'm out of remission. That's it. There's nothing else that they can do. So I rely heavily on the Lord to deliver me, and I believe wholeheartedly that I will eventually be delivered. See, that's the thing. Sometimes the Lord doesn't answer your prayer immediately, and people give up. People get frustrated. They think they can just say, "Oh God, I want $1 million," or "God, I want a new car," or "God, I need a $10 raise at work," or something and they don't get it, so they give up, they quit, they walk away. And that's the wrong thing to do. You have to seek. When you really want something from the Lord, you have to seek the Lord for it. You have to be in your words. You have to pray. You have to ask others. It's good to ask others to pray for you as well, for whatever your situation is that you need. I've seen so many times in my life that prayer was answered, and it's exactly what the person needed. I've seen people that couldn't pay their bills, not for the lack of that they blew their money on drugs or alcohol or whatever, but they might have gotten laid off at work and they just couldn't pay their rent, or they didn't have money, or they paid what bills they could and then they didn't have money for groceries. I have seen prayers answered in my life that would absolutely blow you away. I'm not even joking about that, nor would I even begin to joke about something like that. I'm dead serious. I have seen prayers answered. I've seen people delivered from sicknesses and illnesses. So when these people I see on the internet, and there's a big atheist community on YouTube, and they have their own community just like us Christians, and they talk about why they don't believe in God. They make fun of the Lord, and they make fun of Christians, and they might do it jokingly, and some do it, out of hostility because they hate, God. It's funny they have hate for something that they don't believe in, but I'm not going to go into that. But I've seen there's no other excuse that anything this world can come up with other than that it was God that did whatever it was that needed to be done. Now, brings me to a video I saw a while back. There was a girl that was in a car accident. She was a young girl. I'm going to say between 18 and 20. I can't remember, I knew she was young. And she died. She was taken to the hospital, to the emergency room, in critical condition. And she died in the trauma room where they bring the worst patients. And she left her body and started to ascend to heaven. But when she went out of her body, she seen them working on her, pressing, performing CPR on her. She saw her mother hysterical over in the corner, just absolutely going, ballistic because her daughter was dying or had died, and they were trying to bring her back to life. She was clinically dead, no heartbeat on the monitor, brain functions gone, pupils dilated, the whole 9 yards. She ascended. Now, this is the part I found the most amazing of all. And the skeptics can say what they want, and the haters can hate all they want, but she ascended through the roof of the hospital and was going up towards heaven. But when she went up through the roof, she saw what was on the roof of that hospital. She saw an old tennis shoe that had probably been there for I don't know how many years. She saw some balls, like tennis balls that were up there, and she started to ascend to heaven, but it was not her time. And she was whisked back into her body, and they were able to finish reviving her and brought her back. God basically said it was not her time to go. And anyways, when she, I think it was a few days later, she was talking to her mother, and she told her mother what she witnessed, when she went above her body and she saw her mother, being hysterical, and she told her all about that. And of course that was true. Then she told her about what was on the roof of the hospital. Now, there's no way that this girl, this was several stories. There's no way this girl could have got, this 18, 19, 20 young girl could have got up on top of that roof. Come on, think about it. Now, skeptics would say she probably went there one night prior, knowing that she might going to die and have this line. Yeah, come on now. This is a little ridiculous, but people would say stuff like that. She described the exact tennis shoe. There was one shoe up on that roof. Ain't that funny how there's always one glove on the road, one shoe on the side of the road? Where are these other parts? Where's these other shoes and gloves? I've always wondered that. I always see one glove, or I'll see one sock, or I'll see one tennis shoe. Anyways, I'm digressing. I'm being goofy. She described that tennis shoe, color, make, model, the whole 9 yards. She described the tennis balls, where they were at in circumference to the roof, how many there were, okay? And she told the doctors this. Her mother wanted her to tell the doctors, so she did. The doctors, obviously being men of medicine, being, men of science, were highly skeptical. Obviously, I'm sure some didn't even believe her at all. So they had maintenance go up on that roof, and would you believe that they found that exact tennis shoe exactly where she said it was, the color, make, model, the whole nine, the tennis balls where they were, how many was the exact count she said there was up there. I can't remember if she said there was 3 or 4 up there. I believe there was tennis courts not far away. People must have hit them up or whatever, kids, whatever. Anyways, she knew all this. There's no way she could have known this unless she was ascending in, out of her body into heaven. And I just find that utterly amazing. And people tell me all the time, or not, people don't tell me all the time, I see on the internet all the time people that deny Jesus and they deny heaven and hell, and believe that when you die, that's it, the lights go out, you're done, there's nothing there. But I tell those people, I'm telling them now, I should say, that there is so much proof on YouTube alone about people that have passed from this earth and have gone to hell, gone straight to hell, and described the most horrific. I don't even want to get into it because I've seen some of them, and they're absolutely. People ain't making this up, my friends. They're not making this up, and some's gone to heaven, and I tell people all the time, and especially when I first started making these videos, to watch some of these, testimonies for people that's passed. There's a professor named, his last name is Stone, Stone. I can't think of his first name, but he was a professor and he died. But he was an atheist, and I think he was actually one of a member of an atheist group here in America. But he was overseas on a vacation, and something happened with his stomach. Something burst, and he was rushed to the hospital, and the surgeon wasn't going to make it until the next day because they needed a specialist, and he died. And he was a non-believer, a hardcore non-believer, and he was being taken to hell. Okay? And he tells his testimony. You can find that on here too. Professor Stone, that's the only thing I can think of. But if you type in, Professor Stone, Hell Vision or whatever, I'm sure you could find it. But there's plenty of them on here. But, yeah, I wanted to talk about that today. I wanted to do something a little different. I didn't really want to, do a lesson or anything like that today. I just wanted to tell you about prayer, that prayer works. I am an absolute walking, talking, breathing example that prayer works. Okay? I am a walking, talking, breathing example that prayer works, because there's so many times that I shouldn't even be sitting in front of this camera talking to you for some of the dumb things I did when I was younger. So anyways, that's all I got for you today. God bless each and every one of you. Remember, prayer works. Don't listen to these people out here that want to deny Jesus, that want to hate. Pray for them people because they're lost. They need God in their lives, and pray that they find the Lord before they take their final breath. God bless you. I will see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.